What is up, mother people? What is going on? Waiting for the live stream to start. Sorry, I'm starting a bit late. I actually was on a hike earlier, and I just need to get out of the house and do something, man. Today was a really long day for closing for me. I probably took close to like 8 or 9 calls today. Really exhausted. I'm still a little burnt out. And recently, I've been going through these energy fluctuations where it's like up and down, man. Been really rough. I shot a few like low-key YouTube videos. They should be coming up later this week. I gotta schedule them. Honestly, I've been kind of slacking with the YouTube channel, and I was talking to my good friend Brian, and we're just talking about like how our year has changed so much, right? And it's pretty crazy. When I got into the realm of digital marketing and sales and closing, man, I could have never like imagined all of this stuff happening. I just feel like it's just like great timing. What's going on? My world images. What's up? Yeah, as I was just saying, like, I think a really cool thing that happened this year was, or last year, I was telling Brian, my good friend, about all the cool stuff that was happening in my life, what I'm up to these days and stuff. Never mind this mess, by the way. But I was telling him about all the cool stuff that's been kind of happening, and he's like, dude, I have trouble like understanding what you do. And I was like, damn, really? Have I made that much progress within the last year, where like even some of my closest friends, they have no idea what I do? And to say that I actually do make remote income full time now, so it's really, really crazy. I thought that was a really cool insight, guys. And so some cool things. I actually booked a last minute trip to Dallas, so gonna be out there. If anybody's in Dallas or anything like that, let me know. I don't know, I don't even got a car, so I don't even know why I'm saying anything like that. But going to Dallas at the end of the year, or I think Tuesday, gonna fly over there, live remote life, eat some good barbecue, meet some good people, and that's all. So I think that would be kind of cool. So I'm out there for that. And yeah, man, I just been steadily on the grind and really getting into like the mode of closing bigger and bigger deals. I mean, we literally have this 6-figure client for the digital marketing agency that I'm trying to grow and build. We just secured this really huge client. Shout out to my boy Zach King. He's like a master closer, man. I've really seen him kind of improve over the last like few months, man. And it's really amazing how like, some people, like if you devote enough time into a skill or practice, you get better. It's almost like the best way I can explain it is probably like has to do with pharmacy, right? So your first day of practicing as a pharmacist, you probably suck, right? You don't know the processes and procedures and stuff like that, and you just get caught up with all the chaos around you, right? That's the same thing with entrepreneurship, whether it's digital marketing, closing, anything like that. There's a steep learning curve. I would say, like for something like closing or sales or marketing, it's even steeper because it's like learning a whole new world. A lot of people don't understand, and it took me a long time to kind of learn the lay of the land, but feel pretty damn comfortable now. Let's kind of open the comments for a second. Let me just open up the comments. I'm actually drinking some kombucha at the moment too, as well. Can you clarify remote incomes? So right now I have a high ticket sales agency, and I do digital marketing consulting and e-commerce consulting as well. So those are 2 things. I'm working on a 3rd client right now, but that's in the works. So I wouldn't say that's what like that one's not finalized yet. I'll let you guys know. But basically what remote income is basically being able to make income wherever you are in the world. That's not dependent on your location. Like for pharmacy, for example, you're stuck in a pharmacy, right? You have to be in one singular location. It's not like you can travel around, because here's the thing, you have to get licensed in each state that you go to, unless you're like a government pharmacist or something like that. And yeah, Andy says, do you have to be being a pharmacist, do you have to be smart? I don't, like, honestly, that's such a general question, man. I'll tell you this, man, to be a great, like, you have to have some level of competency to really make it through school and shit. So like honestly, yeah, you have to be somewhat smart to get into pharmacy school. Now, to be a good pharmacist, I think it requires a lot less, at least in community setting, it takes a lot less like intellectual smarts, but more EQ, like emotional intelligence, understanding how people work, and you have to be able to persuade and influence and be very resourceful too. Just because with pharmacy, you're dealing with so many different people with different agendas, and you have to be able to find solutions really, really quickly to make all parties happy and look for a win-win solution. And that's why when I went into like consulting and stuff, or digital marketing consulting, it's very similar, man. Very, very similar. Like every party has its own different agenda, and you're just trying to find the best solution for everyone that's not going to make people go and broke in the bank, that's going to be profit, yet at the same time is enough capital to be profitable. You have to instill confidence in people about your services, right? And that your solution is like really it. So yeah. How large is your remote income work? I don't understand that question. Rephrase it, please. But yeah. It's been kind of cool, man. Like I've been really focusing on a lot of my like vision and stuff. I went to a hypnotherapist like a little bit a while ago. Man, I'm not sure if this fan is getting in the way. I'm gonna move it. But yeah, I saw a hypnotherapist. I really kind of, zoned in on my vision. I had this huge opportunity that kind of came across my desk, and it made me really think about what I wanted. It's kind of like one of those situations where you have something really good in front of you, and you don't know if it's the right choice, right? And very similar, like if you get accepted in pharmacy school, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, oh, should I really go to pharmacy school? And I think that's where having a vision is really important. And having a vision is kind of tough because it's your like why. It's why you do what you do, the purpose of what you do. I came up with this. It's a good work in progress. But basically, what I help do is I help create opportunities and connect people to those opportunities for a rich life. Everything that I do, I want to be able to connect toward that vision, toward that goal, and I think that's something I'm really good at. I have a really broad or really well-connected network of friends, to be honest with you. It's not like I planned it from the beginning. I just like love meeting different people and just talking to them and just helping people, man. And that's what I do. Everything from like every person that I talk to for a consulting client or whatnot, and all that. Like, I think I always try to add value and just try to connect people opportunities. Now, for the people that talk to me, it's really their decision. I mean, you really have to make sure that, they're the ones walking through the door. You can open the door, show them what's past the door, but they have to walk through it. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. My world images, how much can you generate? That's the thing, man. Your income is like literally uncapped. It's basically how smart you work, what kind of clients you're going after. For example, one of the potential clients, if we scale it up, I could be making $10,000 per month through this one client. It could happen, but I don't know if it will. Absolutely, we'll find out soon. But that's an example, right? But then there's other times where it's just singular transaction. I make $500, $200 off one client. So it really, really depends. Depends, man. Like, that's the thing. It's not like a 9 to 5. There's no ceiling cap. It's basically however you're the one calling the shots. You can strategize what you want to do in this business, what you don't want to do in this business. I think that's the cool thing, man. So yeah, man. Remote income is also like, I have to say, man, doing remote income, a lot of the troubles some of my friends face is that remote income can be lonely too. Like living a remote life, like surprisingly going to a job like where you can physically go to and see people, that matters to certain people. For me, it doesn't matter so much because I prefer online relationships. And then like when I meet people in person, I love chilling with them too. But for some people, they feel quite lonely. And so like, because you're remote, you're away from people, and you really have to make that active effort to go out there and meet people and just sustain real life relationships. Otherwise, you're gonna go fucking crazy, bro. Doing this. So, but I would say remote income is so powerful because think about it. Like this week, this week I'm going to Texas. The next week, which I literally booked last minute. The next week, I'm actually going back to Boston for my friend's wedding, and then I'm flying back to meet to LA to meet back my one of my not intern, some girl that like someone I precepted back in the day, and for an event, and we're gonna be having lunch and stuff. So it's kind of cool, man. Living this remote lifestyle, you can kind of create your own life and stuff like that. So I think having a remote income, you can also better control your finances, because let's say, New York or San Fran or even LA, man, it can get quite expensive. And if you ever want to do a YOLO solo trip, your money's worth more in like the Philippines. That's why my friend Matt, well, that's not the only reason why my friend Matt is there, but you can go Philippines, you can go to Thailand, like a lot of digital nomads, and you can go Vietnam. There's so many different places you can go. So I feel like there's so much freedom when you can just move around, when you're not stuck to one place. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to provide, unless you're born into a shit ton of money, man. Thanks for a like, by the way. Appreciate it, guys. Unless you're born into a shitload of money or you have some sort of assets coming, chances are you're going to have to temporarily work, like exchange some sort of time for money or time to build an asset if you don't have an asset already. And it takes time. So you really got to pick your poison and choose something that you can ride the ups and downs and just commit to one thing for a while, And for me, I did pharmacy for 5 years. I couldn't imagine myself doing it for 20 plus years, man. It's just not the society that we live in these days, man. And it's not because we're millennials or anything like that, because the world's always changing. Look at school for a second, right? Or look at the pharmacy market. Like, let me pull this up. Let me see. Let me pull this up for 1 second. I'm going to show you some stats. Bureau. So back when in 2006, like everybody was saying, like, go to pharmacy, super, super great. They're giving on sign-on bonuses. Can you guys believe that? They're giving sign-on bonuses for pharmacy, guys. So let's look at the job market now. I saw it last time. I showed it last time, but I think it's really good to kind of see for a second, guys. Like, look at this. Typical median pay. Guys, most of your questions can be probably answered in Bureau of Labor Statistics, guys. But if you take a look, number of jobs in 2018, 300K jobs, job outlook, little or no change in between the next 10 years. That's really bad. And guess what? Schools are still pumping out jobs. So guys, whoever, like, this is what the statistics say. And this is going to be the employment change from 2018 to 2028. Negative. So there's going to be fewer jobs going forward, man. So this is like, I mean, I'm not telling people to stop going into pharmacy, but definitely you got to expand the scope of practice, or you have to be proactive about adding more roles into pharmacy. This is why like a lot of pharmacists are trying to expand the role of pharmacy, because there's almost job saturation, right? And even here they say taking pharmacists who, let's see, where is it? There was a part about like job outlook and stuff. Show little or no change to 2018 to 2028. Demand is projected to increase in a variety of healthcare settings, such as hospitals and clinics. These facilities will need more pharmacists to oversee medications given to patients and to provide patient care, such as testing blood sugar or cholesterol. The large baby generation is aging, and older people typically use more prescriptions than younger people. Higher rates of chronic diseases such as diabetes among all age groups will lead to higher demand for prescription medications. Blah blah blah. Employment of pharmacists and pharmacies and drugstores is projected to decline. Employment in this industry is projected to decline overall, and retail pharmacies will be affected by increasing sales via mail order and online pharmacies. In addition, pharmacies technicians will be taking a greater role in pharmacy operations. Technicians perform tasks such as collecting patient information, preparing more types of medication, and verifying the works of other technicians that were previously done by other pharmacists. So honestly, the role of a pharmacist is getting, it's changing. It's not looking too good, and you can break this down by different location and stuff too. But I think if you ever guys get a chance, you should really look up the Bureau of Labor. Yeah, and so that's that. Why'd you stop being a pharmacist? Says Andy. Well, to be honest, something that you gotta think about, man, going in the future. And by the way, how many people are in here? I got 10 people in here. So those 10 people, 8 people who haven't hit the like button, make sure to hit the like button, guys. So Andy asked, like, hey, why did you stop being a pharmacist? I think one of the things that you gotta ask yourself is like, hey, do I see myself doing this in the future, right? Not to be so like caught up in the future where you're over analyzing everything, but is this something that would truly add to your life in the future? And I looked at pharmacists that were 10, 20 years into their profession, right? And they were all miserable, right? They looked like they were dying, dude. They hated their job. They were just doing it just to get by, right? Because they got stuck in like with a mortgage or with other obligations, or they had kids and stuff. That was the main reason why they were there. And they looked like they had the fucking energy drained out of them, guys. This is a hard business. People don't realize how hard this is. Is it the hardest business? I don't think so, right? But I think the expectation of you going into this business and what the reality is, people are not expected for it. So it's a tough business. So I honestly did not see a future in pharmacy. This is not something that made me happy. I always felt like there was a future within this new age of business, right? With businesses will always be there. And what are the two things that every business needs? Oh, it's sales and marketing. So that's what I kind of delve myself into, but not so much brick and mortars, because brick and mortars are cool, but guess what? Malls are dying. Like, malls are dying. Everything's shifting to online. So I mean, I'm a millennial. How many of you guys buy shit from Amazon? All you guys, right? So there's a demand for it, right? There's more and more things shifting online. I believe that's the future. And it makes me happy just to be challenged myself to do something new, to do something innovative. Yes, short term it might suck, because guess what? You have to you're going to struggle going from any sort of like career that you were studying your whole life for and switching over, but it's not impossible, guys. And so that's why I made the leap of faith to do it, because I see a future in this. Short-term gain for long-term, or short-term pain for long-term gain. And I want to be spending more time with my kids in the future and shit. Like, I think that's really important. Designing the lifestyle that you want. There's 4 things I want in my lifestyle. Like, as an easy acronym, it's I took this from my friend Rich and Niche, but R stands for remote work, being location independent, working wherever you want on your own means. That's really important to me, right? Income that is scalable. With the pharmacy pay, you're capped out usually. There's no increasing like, you're pretty much stuck. It's very hard to move up, right? So for me, when I'm doing digital marketing or sales, there's no cap. It's really up to me finding the right clients and providing them a high value solution, B2B solution. I know a lot of you guys won't understand this because I'm using a lot of technical terms, but I'm just gonna put it out there, and if you guys are really interested, I can talk more about it. C is something doing creative things. C can stand for cool or creative. And I think this is the lifeblood, because honestly, what I want to be doing is like, I just want to be excited for what I want to do. I don't want to be like those pharmacists who hate their life, man, who like felt miserable. I saw their face every single day. I mean, I saw 11 years of it when I was in pharmacy, bro. Like that shit was depressing. It was really depressing, man. And so I know the future of that, right? And then H, it stands for hustle and homies, man. So like remote life is good and all, income is good and all, but what good is it if you don't have a great group of people just to enjoy it with, and connecting with other like-minded people who want to push the envelope, want to do their best and shit too. So that's kind of the short reason it didn't fit those 4 criteria for me. There's probably more. I'll probably come up with other acronyms and stuff, but I think that is a good explanation of what's going on, right? Faison says, "Dang, how have things been, Kevin?" Oh, it's been pretty fucking crazy, man. Today was a little rough day, but in general, I've been pretty happy with my life. Just because things have been going really well for the business. As you can see, like my notes are everywhere. I have to clean and do all this shit, but in general, I'm very happy, man. I love doing jujitsu. I love working out, man, and I'm getting all those man, I finally feel like I'm actually enjoying my life for once and just traveling the world. So I'm going to Dallas this week. I'm going to Boston. I want to plan an international trip sometime soon, right? Outside of Canada and stuff. But yeah. Is technician just an entry level pharmacist? I feel like it's going to move toward there, right? I mean, there's a lot of smart technicians out there. Honestly, I know a lot of technicians that could probably do a pharmacist job. Now, the only thing that they don't really have is like the formal clinical training that, most pharmacists have. But I feel like, guys, don't forget this profession. It was based off apprenticeship before, just like most other things. I think we put way too much fucking emphasis on school and letting school decide like, hey, letting school decide who is credible and who's not, right? At the end of the day, sure, like there's I don't know, like at the end of the day, I think real like experience trumps all, man. Sure, school might give you a great baseline, but it comes at a cost, man. School's so damn expensive. Is it really worth it anymore? To be honest, I'm not a big advocate of school anymore these days, at least the way it is right now. It's gone up so much. If you guys watch that Ryan Higa video with Andrew Yang and stuff, like it was very interesting because he was just saying like, as a millennial, this is like the world that we're stepping into, and it's just really interesting. I think it's better to, there's so many other opportunities out there, and I mean, this is the opportunity I went in. Do I know all the other opportunities? Not so much. How are you enjoying keto, says AZ. Sorry. How are you enjoying keto these days? I actually got back into it pretty hardcore. I also started juicing with like greens and stuff, and then blending it into my smoothie so I don't get that sugar dump. But honestly, I'm loving being back on keto, man. I kind of fell off the train, man. But yeah, man, just getting really back into it these days. Ray Baby 136 says it's very draining. Yeah, so Ray, you understand how draining pharmacy is. A lot of people will never understand. It's really hard to explain pharmacy to people who are not in it. I wish I knew a great way to explain it, but really we do a lot of different things. In some sort of ways, I feel like we're kind of like we wear so many hats. Not to say we don't have a specialty, but we have a specialty. We have a specialty at combining skill sets together, if that makes sense. And I don't know a really great way to package it. It's actually one of the pitfalls of pharmacy, because chances are if you can't explain what you do, other people don't know what you do either, man. So I feel your pain. Amazon is baller. Frick yeah. Jeff Bezos, man. Killing it, man. Straight killing it, man. I was even thinking about switching to its online farm. Well, like that's why, I mean, if you take a look over here, like they're saying like most of the jobs are going to switch to mail order and all that. So managed care is going to be really hot, but I don't know, man. Like it's not looking too hot for farm, to be honest with you, man. So, let's see. Let me open this up again. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Fuck. Hold on. Let me go back. Probably going to do it at some point. Okay. Would you recommend doing independent pharmacy or work retail? Like, what do you think about it? honestly, I've had taste of both worlds. Not so much like I never worked full time at an independent pharmacy. I'll tell you one thing about independent pharmacy though. Um, it's a scary time for independent pharmacies because it's harder. I and correct me if I'm wrong. If there's any independent pharmacists in here who own the independent pharmacy, it's getting harder and harder to stay profitable as an independent pharmacy. Um, just because insurance companies and managed care were getting ripped alive with different fees, DIR fees, and all this other stuff. Um, it's really, it's really kind of like not unstable time, but it's hard for a new pharmacy. Like a lot, you'll don't riches are in the niches, man. So like specialty pharmacies do really, really well. My good friend Jenny, she does specialty medications. I mean, she's a full service pharmacy, but really the bulk of her money are through specialty medications and all that as well, right? And so that's where the major profitability is. Um, and so when you ever have like, think about it like this, whenever you have inconsistent cash flow or unstable cash flow, I mean, whether you're trying to open up your pharmacy or work at a pharmacy, you got to think, what is your longevity there? Are you going to stay? Are you going to stay? Like, will your job security be there? Right. And it's okay. Like, honestly, like there's a lot more flexibility with a independent pharmacy, right? But there's also lack of structure. You might have to deal with a really bad business owner that doesn't know how to manage a team, that doesn't know how to manage a company, their company. You know, it really depends. There's so many different independent pharmacies. I would ask them straight up, what is your vision for this company? Where do you want to take it? Where do you want to go? Okay, how is a pharmacist going to help you get there? What kind of pharmacist are you looking for? Like hard qualify them, because here's the thing, man. If you're going to spend your most precious asset, which is time, for a company, you bet your ass you better know what you're getting there, what you're spending it there for, what you're spending your time there for, because time is like, we treat time like it doesn't mean anything, man. It's so important. So that's the thing, man. I always want to think longevity, but if you're still young, I would try an independent pharmacy. If you're still in school, man, go into take an internship there. You can see how most independent pharmacies run. I fucking hated it because a lot of the business owners were absolute assholes. Yeah, I just really didn't like them. They exploit a lot of students and all that sort of stuff. But and even as a, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of it. So I have a few friends that are still in it. Anyways, more comments. Is there a backup plan for pharmacists besides business? Yeah, there is. You know what? I was actually thinking about creating. Okay, so I had this idea, and you guys can let me know if this was something that you guys would actually be interested in or something like that. So there are a few options. One of my friends, Blair, she actually runs a pharmacy consulting business. Check out like my podcast with her about pharmacy consulting. We actually spend a lot of time talking about pharmacy consulting, and it's a really good topic because you can basically set up your own practice with or like collaborate with the primary care to basically help them make more money. I think that is a great way to get started, right? So there's that. My boy Eric, or sorry, why did I say Eric? My boy Alex, he has a coaching program to help people find careers, what they love. Now the idea that I had, since there is like a decline in pharmacy jobs and whatnot, I was actually thinking about creating a coaching program to really help people find a dream job that they love. Now, I'm more of an entrepreneur. I'm more of a business person, but I get a lot of questions about like, how do I find the dream job of my life? And I think like the strategies that I've learned through business and even through pharmacy. I mean, although as much as I didn't like pharmacy, I actually accomplished one of my goals using a strategy I learned from a bunch of people like Ramit Sethi and all these other people, right? That landed me a job straight in the most competitive place in the world, like competitive place. I was right in LA, right in the city. I thought that was really cool, using a lot of solid strategies. And I even had a recommendation from a rear admiral for the public health service, which I was going to go down, but I just didn't want to go into the remote areas, man. just wasn't the life I wanted. So those are like there are some backup plans. I mean, other than the typical, hey, go down the residency route, go into hospital and stuff. Really, those are only options I see at the moment. You can also buy a business too. That would be very feasible as well. With the current state of pharmacy, I can't guarantee that 7 years it'll be, or 5 years. Let's say if you're a brand new pharmacy student, either A, look at another major or healthcare profession. If you really like pharmacy but still want to do business, at least look to acquire a business in the future. So that's the plan. How did you contemplate leaving pharmacy? It says Faison, like, what was going through your head at the time? Super brave of you. Well, there's quite a few things, man, going on at the time. So one of the things is that I didn't choose. I got fired from my job for having this YouTube channel and just really speaking my mind. Looking back on it, it was, I honestly could have sued for wrongful termination, to be honest with you, right? Anyways, that's that. So I didn't really choose. So that was the first thing. My dad actually passed during that time, man. And I remember going on different interviews. I got the job of my dreams. I could have been like an advanced practicing pharmacist position or whatever. They would have trained me and stuff if I was willing to move to like out in the middle of nowhere. And I asked myself at that moment, I was like, do I really want this, Kevin? Is this what you really want? And the truth was, I didn't want it, right? It didn't hit those four things. My quote unquote rich life, remote, scalable income, creative, cool type of lifestyle, and lifestyle where I could be with a lot of my homies and friends. And so no, it didn't fit it. And that's why I felt so contemplated about it. And that's when I realized, like, if I'm going to do this, I need to do this now while I have no kids, while I don't have that many responsibilities, while I don't have a house. This is one of the reasons why I say don't buy a house right now, because honestly, it's better to keep the cash. It's better to keep your money liquid so you can buy, maybe a business in the future and then invest in the house later when you actually have an asset that's bringing you money. A lot of people think just like living in a house and just sitting on it is like an asset. Really, I don't think, like, it's only an asset once you sell it and assuming that appreciates in value. And honestly, your money is locked up. It's illiquid, right? And so there's really power in having liquid cash and being able to invest in like small businesses or online businesses or anything like that, or regular index funds and stuff too. Those are pretty good, man, if you want your cash more liquid. Now it depends what type of account you're opening up. If you want to learn more about investing, go Kick-Ass Investing. I have links in the links below. I actually opened up a new YouTube channel called Kick-Ass Investing. Haven't shot any videos on it, but I'm going to be uploading content there relatively soon. I actually spent all morning watching that. But if you want to learn how to do basic portfolio management and all that, I'm creating a YouTube channel on that. But that was kind of like the decision, man. I didn't choose. I mean, life chose for me and I just rolled with the punches. I told myself, well, I have enough money to last myself for the next year, and I could access more money if I liquidate more things. And I was like, let's just do it. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Let's put my 100% commitment. And if it really fucks up, then I just go back. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, I have experience. I can drive results, like sales results and stuff like that. So I just had that faith in myself, and luckily it paid off so far, man. Like, I am I making as much as my pharmacy income? No, but I guarantee you, in the next, I would say, if I don't at least surpass my pharmacy career, like money, by next year, there's something desperately wrong with me. But I'm actually on track right now, and it feels really good knowing that I'm building up different assets with my different businesses right now, man. So it's pretty cool. Which is really interesting. Andy asks, is there a backup plan for Pharmacist? Oh no, I already answered that. How long did I, and you're asking how long did I contemplate it? Contemplated it for like not super long. By the way, 9 people who are watching this video and haven't hit the like button, smash that like button. Let's get this live stream to more people, man. As a former pharmacist, are you able to prescribe yourself medication and be your own doctor? I can't prescribe. A lot of people say that like pharmacists can prescribe and all that. Um, you like, and if you can, like, it's usually furnishing under protocol or what's the word? Collaborative practice. As a pharmacist, but you need special training with that. You need to get certified and all that sort of stuff. So no, but thank you for hitting the like button. Appreciate it. Um, but you can't prescribe yourself, but you know what? I'm pretty good at doing research and stuff like that. So I'm pretty into health. I'm actually really not into like medications and stuff. It's not really my thing, bro. Like honestly, that shit I don't believe in it for chronic diseases. I don't think that's the primary. I think we resort to medication way too fucking quick. Way too freaking quick half the time, man. Um we really got to look at health through food, exercise, diet and stuff. Resort to that first, man. We like what's the first thing that we learn in pharmacy school? Oh, everybody's talking about guys, focus on lifestyle modifications, right? But we all laugh. Why do we laugh? Because that shit is fucking hard. And we know that most patients aren't going to adhere to that shit, right? If I'm just like, you got diabetes. Have you ever considered just stop eating fucking sugar, right? You can't say that, but imagine you said that to a patient, they would like fire you in an instant. What's easier? Telling them to stop eating candy and sugar and all these processed carbs, or telling them, hey, I have this pill, it's called metformin, just take it, it's going to lower your blood sugar and all that sort of stuff. Might give you the runs, but at least your blood sugar will be better controlled, right? Is that really the solution? Fuck no. But like a lot of people are lazy, they want a magic pill. It's a painkiller, not a fucking vitamin, right? And that's why we're in the society that we're in. People want quick results, man. What the hell is pharmacy consulting? Watch the video with Blair. I mean, she can talk about that. I took 8 Panadol in the bog in Ireland and started roughing from the mouth. Anyways, damn, you must want to smack that boss silly one day. You know what's really interesting about that boss? That pharmacy actually closed down 1 or 2 years later because they weren't making enough money after I left. So, and I heard that guy got demoted. So whatever, no hate against them, but honestly, karma's a bitch. Fuck. But why you say you could have sued? Did they just fire you for no reason? Yeah, so honestly, here's I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or anything like that, but basically I was going on FML. I was going on FML, family medical leave or whatever, because my dad was actually in the hospital. And then I like they called me in last minute and they terminated me. So, I mean, they said that a customer complained about my YouTube channel and they thought it was unprofessional and stuff like that. But honestly, I never really talked about the company at all. Like, I never really bad talked that specific pharmacy or anything like that, or brand or anything like that. So it is what it is. I mean, it's in the past. I mean, it's like whatever. So, have you ever how you ever had to deal with anxiety or insomnia? Oh, I think you're asking Tim. We got Rich and Niche. If you guys want to learn the future of online businesses and marketing, go visit his website, join his academy. I don't know if it's open. Too bad I don't got an affiliate link. No sellout Sunday today, but yeah. But yes, I've actually had to deal with, I don't think I was ever clinically diagnosed with insomnia or anxiety, but I've had a lot of trouble sleeping, especially after my dad passed and I was going through that anxiety of like trying to figure out my income, figure out my life, figure out what I want to do. Sometimes even right now, like I'm having like a lot of trouble sleeping and stuff like that. Some of the ways I deal with it, I've been doing a lot more yin yoga. I've been just watching YouTube videos and shit on yin yoga and practicing it like that. Began a lot of acupuncture and also massages too. I'm planning to go back to a Korean spa and stuff and just like really take some more time to relax. But honestly, what it comes down to is like I focus so much on work sometimes that I need to de-stress. I need to put like free time and block that out. So I think that's really, really important. But yeah, I mean, I have, and it's really tough. I think one of the best ways though for me is really acupuncture. Like, I know it sounds very woo woo and shit. Maybe there's not a lot of clinical evidence or whatever, but I mean, acupuncture puts me asleep half the time. And so I really like it a lot. Um, Curious, what made you so wary of medications coming from a farm background? Would think the opposite. Because like at the end of the day, I don't know, man. Like I, it's just like I'm a huge believer in strong foundations, right? Uh, like typically like medications and stuff. I'm not saying medications are bad or anything like that, but there's a specific need for them, right? And I'm a believer. I mean, in pharmacy, we're also taught using. You don't want to be on 10 billion medications. We're always trying to minimize the amount of medications people should be on, but unfortunately, cutting down people's medications. I mean, now with managed care, maybe you get reimbursed for like for certain MTM like tips or whatever like that. But honestly, these days, like it's not profitable if you don't take medications and stuff. So I don't know. Like for me, I've just never been a medication guy. I've never been like not believing in it, but there's a time and use for everything, right? And I believe like, hey, you should really control as much as you can on your own with lifestyle modifications, even though we all laugh at that shit, bro. Um, let's see, lol, dude. I was thinking about getting metformin for a life extension. Yeah, what's his name? I was actually just watching David Sinclair on Joe Rogan. Very interesting podcast. You should watch it. He talks about life extension and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's infuriating. I'm actually going to be floating as a pharmacist at the three letter. I'll just I'll just assume it's not CVS and it's the good old WAG. What to expect for this position? Any differences between the staff and floating? Yeah, man, it's gonna be really tough because here's the thing, man. It's gonna be a very stressful situation because it's not like you're seeing regular patients. Every like that's the thing about being a floater. I was a floater. No, I wasn't. I was never really a floater. I was floating for like maybe 2 weeks because they needed coverage somewhere else, and then they're like, "No, Kevin, you guys stay at your store because your store falls apart whenever you leave, right?" And so, as a floating pharmacist, I think it's like there's so many changing factors, right? So your staff don't know you, so they don't exactly. I don't want to say don't exactly know you, but they know that you're going home at the end of the day. They'll probably never see you again. So there's that thing. Second thing is like you don't know these patients that well, and so there's something where you having regular patients. You know your patients like how they think, how to persuade them, or how to influence their decisions, how to communicate with them, and you also understand how to like you understand their profile and history because you've been working with them for a while. So you have that background information and you know their factors, right? And third thing, like, dude, it's like from a personal level as a floater, you're always driving to new places and stuff. It can get quite overwhelming. So unless you have set stores, it's constant scrambling. You gotta learn the workflow. You don't know the protocol of that particular store with that PIC or that pharmacist in charge. So yeah, man, it's kind of like you're battling a lot of different things. So it's tough, but I mean, floaters are needed because they keep the business going. But yeah, it's gonna be tough, bro. Um, but hey, if you like, I would say, hey, if you want to see how different pharmacies are like, I would highly recommend you being a floater for a little bit, just to see how the top performing stores are performing and how the bottom stores are performing too. So, AZ says, "Do you ever drink alcohol or smoke weed?" No, I've never done any like weed or alcohol or anything like that. I'm pretty when it comes to that sort of stuff. I'm pretty pure and a straight edge man. What are your thoughts about Xanax and Adderall? Do you think think mental health is a gray area? I actually really do think it is a gray area. Um, I don't know, man. Like even with the antipsychotics, like uh I like, and here's the thing, I don't like to bitch about things without having a solution. Thank you for the like, by the way. For those 6 people who haven't liked this video yet, please hit the like button. Except if you're driving. If you're driving, don't do it. Um, do it later. But as far as like like for mental health and stuff, if you look at like most antipsychotics and stuff, like and you look up the MOA or mechanism of action, a lot of time it's unknown, man. Like it's crazy. And it's kind of funny. I don't remember the history of a lot of these like antipsychotics or mental like these psych drugs or anything like that. But it's I believe it's a very gray area, and there's a lot of different, I think we often give, we're too, like, I think with every disease state we're way too like, we give drugs way too fucking quickly half the time, man. Give it way too quickly. I think like, I'm not saying like, I'm saying that we tend to overemphasize like the power of drugs, but we underestimate the power of lifestyle modifications as well. But like I said earlier, it's not sexy, man. Uh Peter Ambart says, what's the best way to gain and maintain a following? Well, keep in mind, I don't have the biggest following, man. I just been really consistent over the years, and just like, I had my initial boost from like Joe from Just Kidding Films and stuff. Like a lot of people followed me because of him, found me through him. But the best way to gain a following, I guess, is like, okay, I'll tell you this, like over the last, even this last year, my following's grown quite a bit. I mean, it hasn't been like PewDiePie like crazy, but I think part of gaining a following is, one, being consistent, being able to create content. Second thing is having a great organic reach strategy, so learning some sort of SEO and all that. And third thing, I think honestly, at the end of the day, people need to know why they're on your channel, and like that's the number one thing I've always been struggling with my personal channels, because I don't know why people are here. I know how to hook people. I know how to get people. Like I know how to rank really well, like for like jujitsu videos and all that. That's how I ranked really high for high ticket closing. I ranked really high for jujitsu. Ranked really high for pharmacy. I know these different things, but I think part of it is also being authentic too, and just being your real self, because I feel like there's this huge gap within YouTube where it's just like there's a lack of authentic channels, people just being real, people just really talking about their everyday problems, man. It's not like the OG YouTube days. Like that's why you guys are probably here. That's why 17 people are probably in here, because they feel the same thing. They feel like there's a lot of YouTube channels that just don't really talk about their life or talk about what they're going through and the struggles and stuff. I think that's one of the great ways. Now, if you're trying to create a business channel, it's a lot easier. You're probably trying to teach them something and really try to sell them something at the end of the day. So having that clarity, I think, is important. Knowing the purpose and vision of your channel is probably one of the most important things. I was talking to my friend, he's the consultant, and he was saying, what is the number one thing important for any business, right? For leadership and all that. I was like, oh, let me guess, vision. He's like, bingo. Because when you get people work on you, you need to sell people on your vision. Vision is so important. That's why that book, Start With Why, is so important. That's why we always, like, Joe recommends it. There's a lot of people that recommend that book, and for good reason. There's also a good reason why, I didn't even know this, but there's a good reason why EY, they recommend people to they go through the workbook too, and help people, like, and help they talk about vision, because that is that important for a company, because it'll decommoditize you, right? Especially in your commoditized market, it helps you with your USP, helps with so many things. So I think that's really important too, knowing the exact reason why you're starting a channel. Like for my Kick-Ass Investing channel, I'm starting it from scratch, man. I literally have 6 subscribers because I went over to my refugee hustle list. I was like, hey guys, anybody that's interested in investing, follow me on YouTube, right? On this channel, right? So that's the only reason, but I'm going to be building up from scratch, and you guys can follow it if you want, if you're interested in investing, but I'm going to build it organically from scratch and see how fast I can get it. I guarantee, I'm pretty sure that that channel might overtake this channel, to be honest with you, because it's more specific. But for this channel, like for me, I just like sharing aspects of my life. I love sharing parts of my story. I love sharing what's going on in my life. I don't think I'm any that special or anything like that. So yeah, man, I would just say just be consistent. But that's the one thing that is lacking with YouTube, because the truth is YouTube is freaking hard, guys. YouTube is really hard. Shooting a video, editing a video, doing the tags, doing the thumbnails every single week, adding the cards, adding the end cards. If you want to do YouTube right, it gets super overwhelming. That's where people really, really get stuck, guys. Yo, the homie Rich says subs. Awesome, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure Rich can probably plug in something too about starting a YouTube channel, why vision is really, really important, but it's kind of crazy. I mean, honestly, I've been struggling with my vision the whole time, and I feel like I finally found it, man. Through some woo-woo hypnotherapy session, I found it, and I feel like so confident about like the direction I'm going. Actually, it was really interesting. Me and Rich, I was over at his place in like Canada, and we're on this remote island, and we're just talking about the vision of my YouTube, whether I want to make this a personal one, a business. And the problem was that I wanted to make it all of it. I wanted this channel to be a business channel. I wanted this channel to be a pharmacy channel. But when you like, it's okay to do that, but you can't monetize that, right? It's hard. So you just got to separate it out into the business, and that's the truth. And this channel will always be the bread and butter of my personality, who I am, and the things that I want to share as well. So, okay, let's see some new comments. Kevin, did you see the Elon Musk versus Jack Ma debate yet? If you're looking for something to watch, I highly recommend it. Dude, I haven't watched it, but I'm gonna watch it in a bit, man. Suggestion from a new grad from Boston that has recently graduated and moved back to California as a pharmacist that wants to make new connections and friends. Most friends are in college, from college, are in the East Coast. Bro, this sounds like my whole story, man. I would start off with this, man. Like, so I think this is one of the easiest ways to make friends. I still do it to this day. What I would do is just like, hey, like when I first moved to California, there's a few different ways. You can join a meetup.com, and this is back when Meetup was still pretty big. I don't think Meetup is as big anymore, but like you can go to cool events, meet some cool people. Most people going to these events want to meet other people. So that's one really cool thing to do, right? You can also join like a Facebook group and stuff and see if anybody local in the area wants to meet up and stuff in a particular niche area. So like find some sort of hobby. It could be rock climbing, it could be jujitsu like myself, and that's how I meet people all the time, bro. And honestly, this is the third one, which I think is probably best, because sometimes we underutilize the power of our network, right? I think sharing vulnerability, or letting people know within our existing network, like, hey, I'm moving to California in XYZ city. Does anybody have friends here? I'm just looking to meet new people. I think that is the best way to kind of meet people, because these are friends of your friends, and most likely they'll be really kick-ass people where you can just meet up and talk to them. Chances are, if you're a new grad from Boston, bro, like chances are there's someone that knows someone in California that will be down to connect y'all, right? So yeah, man. Damn. What do I have here? Oh man, we got trolls, man. We got trolls, bro. Oh my god. So anyways, yeah, man, it's like 54 minutes in. Probably just gonna stream for a little longer, just because I still got work to do, surprisingly, man. Like I just decided midday, I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm going to I'm just gonna go for a hike and all that. But yeah, man, what I want to do too is just I'm planning to start more like older content that I used to do, where I just used to talk to a camera and not think about SEO and all that sort of shit so much. I did it the other day while walking and grabbed boba, bro, and I thought that was really therapeutic. So I'm gonna start doing those type of videos. I have some more interview videos, but yeah. Anyways, hold on. Let me just do one thing. Dude, there's one thing that I've been watching a lot recently, and it's a lot of investing videos. I'm so sick of investing at this point. Holy shit. Okay. If that's all the comments, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Time to end the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. The stream actually did really well. There's 17 people in here. Like, I really appreciate all of you, even the trolls, guys, because apparently you follow my shit too. Those were good videos. Looking forward to them. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, I miss those videos. Those felt really authentic to me. Those were some of the best times of my life where I used to just do coffee time and just like talk to people and all that. That was like the OG days of YouTube, man. Learning SEO hard. What's the key to look for? Honestly, take a few courses on SEO. My boy Peter, and before I take off, let me kind of show you a great course that my friend Peter. Hold on for a second. PBC. Have it. I'll try to post a link in SEO. I can't find it, but anyways, I might do a separate video talking about it and promoting my friend's channel. But SEO is not that hard to learn. It just takes a lot of time, right? Because you gotta realize you're not paying money for SEO. What you're doing essentially is it's a slow strategy, because just like when you do SEO on a website, it takes about 6 months for it to actually get up and running. It takes about 6 months, so it's a slow strategy. I mean, like for me to get, I think right now I'm ranked #1 for pharmacy. And that was my friend's doing. Like, he ranked me really high. He edited my content and stuff, did really, really well. But it's a slow strategy. It didn't pick up until this year, man. My Angela video didn't pick up until this year, man. Or like last year, man. Like, and I shot that video 2 years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's like these strategies take a long time, but when you do it right, you're setting an asset that's going to grow over time. And this is a great way to make some passive income. I don't think it's the best way to make passive income, like with the YouTube channel, to be honest with you. Like, it's good, but honestly, the amount of work you put into it, it's not like, amount of time and work is not the same, man. It really, at the end of the day, YouTube is a traffic stream. It's a great organic traffic stream where yes, you can make money off of people, but more importantly, I think it's better to just create a personal brand and just connect with people. I think that's the essence of YouTube. That's where YouTube first started. You look at people like Ryan Higa and JK Films and all these people, man. They built up such a following on YouTube because they were just being authentic, man. Like, they're being themselves. And when you see channels die, typically they're not themselves anymore. And I think that's really important, especially being a YouTube channel, being a personal brand channel as well. So that's cool. The Farm D. Yeah, I know. I'm always going to be the Farm D, guys. So, all right, guys, getting tired. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go eat, and I have to go type up some notes for my clients. Had a pleasure just like chilling with you guys for next hour. Maybe I'll do this more. If you guys want me to do this more, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do a few more live streams during the week just to chillax and just to who the fuck says chillax anymore? That's such an old term. I used to say that shit in high school, bro. So anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Have a great week. Really crush it. I challenge you guys, do something that fucking scares you, or do something that, you know, lights up your day, that is cool, that is kind of kick ass, that is creative, man. So oftentimes we get so caught up with the bullshit of work, man, and life, and it's important to just stop and breathe the fucking air, even if you're in LA and there's all this smog. It was a good stream, man. Thanks, man. Well, tune in next week. I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace.